lovely people of the internet. I'm Jamie. Let's hang out and watch episode 23 of Freerun. Hi everybody, I am glad you are here watching with me today. What are we in for with the new phase of the exam coming up? The second out of, 3 altogether. Last episode was a fun one. I really liked it. I just really liked that we got to see everybody interacting. We finally got a little bit more of Stark. He somehow ended up with Verbal and Sharp, I think is the name. Hunting things down, getting some meat. What more could he ask for, right? Then we had a really nice, cute moment with Lavina and Kana hanging out with Freerun and Fern. That was really nice. I liked them all hanging out. It was very sweet. And we got to see that Freerun's just really getting comfortable with people and having a good time, and it's just kind of more open to everything, which we love. We also got that really good flashback where she had been here before with the party, Himmel and Aizen and Hyder. So that was cool. Himmel always giving good lessons for us to learn, and, having to reframe, which is always a good thing. Resilience and all that good stuff. It's skills that take time to actually develop and learn, but the more we can do it, the better off we are. That learned optimism kind of stuff a little bit. Optimism doesn't mean always needing to be happy. It's just to be more, in a weird way, realistic and saying, okay, this is happening, but this can also be an explanation for that. And then we had Dankin, trying to bring together Lothen and Reactor, which I think is a really good idea, though is this going to be enough and or pay off in the next phases? Not sure. And then lastly, from what I remember, we had Ubel hanging out with Lond. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, I'm not sure. I watched the reaction back, and as I said, it's very hard to try to say, first off, try to remember what we want to say during a reaction. Also try to say it when other people aren't speaking in the actual media. If we don't get a chance, as I said, to remember that. Probably some more things. But essentially, when I saw that Lond had that glowy cage essentially around him, with the Stilla and stuff, I was like, oh, that was Verbal's thing, but I didn't say it because I was in the middle of saying something else, and then Lond's monotone way that he talks just kind of made me laugh. So note that I was surprised by that, but there was already other things that were on my mind that I wanted to say or I was in the middle of saying. So then we got to see a little bit of the other characters that were going to be joining us, obviously, throughout this exam. We did see them in the first phase of the exam here and there. I know there was the one girl with the 2 guys who had the pose or whatever while she was walking and stuff. I think they were very close throughout that. Whether they knew each other beforehand or not, I don't know. But it seems like they bonded and melded well somehow. Then we had the guy in the bathtub. We had the one lady who was holding the bird. I think that's all we had, other than the one, I think she was near a stack of books. So yeah, I guess we're gonna see who our other players are gonna be. Only fun update I have is I got some bookmarks for the new journals that I have, just so I can obviously keep track of where I am while I'm writing. So I did show off the Squid Game one, or I guess for that journal, not just Squid Game, but right now it's for Squid Game. I showed off that bookmark in the 3rd episode, and now I'm showing off this one here. So we have the book lover. They're all around the idea of kind of books. Well, I guess not all of them. You'll see. I bought 3 altogether. I was going to get 4, but I didn't. But it has a nice, it's kind of pink. I don't know if you can tell, but it's a pink tassel. And I just really like the style, the art style. I think it's very pretty. It's got reflectiveness to it, which is cool. And I thought the colors just really went well with the red Kiki's Delivery Service journal that I have. I will put the Etsy shop where I got them below in case you just happen to be interested. We always like supporting people's artistic endeavors, so So let's get our housekeeping done. So this video is for commentary and discussion purposes. All rights belong to the original creators, so please support the official release. And if you'd like to watch this along with any previous episode, as well as some other movies and TV shows, then they will be up on Patreon. They have the, I think I mentioned, but the full-length uncut versions there. But all right, it is time. Let's get into it. So grab your snacks, get settled in, and let's watch more Freeman. We saw this at the end of the last episode, but does this also have to do with Ziri at all? She always has her hands on her hips. Yeah? Okay. Is it like a maze? I think that will be key. So in the last episode, we saw her say that she is a pacifist, unlike Genau. So I guess hopefully we get to hear the instructions, because I have a feeling they will be very important. Yeah, it's been nice getting to meet all these characters and see their personalities. Still very curious about Ziria. I feel like I say that wrong sometimes. Is it Ziria more so? I think I go like Zaria. It's Ziria. Episode 23. Labyrinth. Yeah, see? King's Tombs. As we said. Bottom floor. Are they allowed to attack each other? Has she always done this before? So get creative. Yeah, there you go. I think both points are fair. That's a good question. With? Are they going as one group? Interesting. Okay. Oh. Prototypes, okay. Okay, but I mean, that sounds kind of nice. Okay, I like that stance. Because I agree, if they are not ready to be a first-class mage, doesn't mean that they would never be. They have potential to grow and learn. So, hopefully that's true. Okay, people gonna, team up, use certain tactics. Everyone's kind of sticking in their, well, sort of, groups. But Fern is interestingly not hanging around Ubel and Holland. Yeah. Okay. I think it'd be smart to work together. I agree. Unless one of you is going to deceive the others. I guess it depends on what your definition of a first-class mage means. Interesting. Suspicious mind usually means there's a reason to be reflected back. Yeah, knew they were sticking together. Unless there's gonna be a reason to turn on them once you're in there. I agree.
僕はダメだね。もう成立しないよ。
Is Zenza gonna go with them or no?
では私は君たちについていこう。
Hmm.
君たちが一番安全に最深部にたどり着けそうだ。
Why do you think that?
しないよ。邪魔も手助けも。
Wonder why she chose the easiest group. Potentially.
ここが一番安全なルートだよ。
How do you know that?
マッピングしながら慎重に進もうか。
Oh, cool. I'm guessing it probably isn't the idea of just always go left, like when you are in a maze.
そこの床。
Oh. Shouldn't she know that? Or was that like an almost sabotage moment? I don't think so.
ダンジョンが好きってどういうことですか？
I think that makes sense considering what we saw. How many times she got eaten by a chest.
わけがわからないよね。
I mean, it tests your physical and mental capacities.
そうか。こっちのルートは外れだな。さっきの分かれ道まで戻るぞ。
Is he a completionist?
いつになったら学ぶんだ、アイゼン。ダンジョンは一つの階層をすべて踏破し。
そんな常識はないぞ。
Again, it depends on your definition, but I agree.
楽しんで人助けができるのなら。
That's nice.
冒険してダンジョンに潜って魔物を倒して宝を探して。
As long as you have confidence in yourselves, why not?
そんな旅がしたいんだ。
Savor the time together and make it last.
分かれ道の先にあるのは珍しい魔導書かもしれないしな。
何言ってるの？早く戻る。
He knows exactly the right buttons to push. I love that she has more smiles all the time. That kind of reminds me a little bit of Chronicles of Narnia. A little bit. Not the right number. I was kind of gonna say something otherwise. I guess, yeah, they have a little bit of a dislike for Reactor, so.
全員で協力して役割分担をすれば攻略の可能性は十分にある。
Yeah.
みんながあんたほど割り切れるわけじゃない。第一次試験の最後に
What?
ミックのような単純な罠にかかって足を引っ張るバカはいない。
バカがこの試験にいるものか。行くぞ。
I would hope not at this level, but. Or. Oh no. We're all interesting. People have their strengths and weaknesses.
魔導書かも。
フリーレン様、ミークハイトの判別結果は見ま。
It's her weakness.
ミミックです。
And that's why they brought it up.
フェルン、その魔法の精度は 99% だよ。
それがどうかしたのですか？
I mean, she hasn't died yet, so.
やっぱりそうだ。この中身は貴重な魔導書だよ。
How do you know?
私の魔法使いとしての経験がそう告げている。
Yeah.
つらいよ、怖いよ。
I mean, I would let her chill for a little while. But she's not going to learn a lesson, so, you know. But yeah, there's not any downside other than it being uncomfortable.
ついていく人たち、間違えたかな。
中心の床は踏むなよ。天井が落ちてくるぞ。
Interesting. Very Indiana Jones-ish.
えげつないな。骨も残らないのか。
Yeah. I mean, maybe it's a way to get to the bottom. Creepy. I mean, they're kind of noisy. That's cool. I did love that show growing up. Nice. He's so cool. Ooh. Nice. Good teamwork. Nice. Ooh. Very cool. I wanted to see more of her, so. Ooh. Uh-oh. Ooh. Ooh. Okay. Someone's gonna rescue her, right? She's very timid. I always worried it was pushing her back into that one room where the ceiling would.
分かっている。
壁の向こう
I have faith.
下がっている。
Yeah, but is it gonna hurt her? It didn't.
やはりダメ。
I mean, she's a second class. Well, I don't know what she is, but she's up there. Oh, yeah, that's true. Alright, cool. We got to see it in action. Oh. Bye.
すげえ。
もう一人脱落。
Just unlucky.
少しの油断が命取りになるな。
Yeah.
楽の応募か。
How long have they been doing this for? Also, how does it not actually eat her?
ちょっといいかな。一旦引っ張るのやめよう。
Could you use fire or something?
こういう時はね、逆に押し込むんだよ。
Oh.
噛むのやめるから。
犬か何かなんですか？
Yeah. Again, she never... Frieren.
一人の時はどう処理していたんですか？
攻撃魔法で内側から爆破し、でも髪の毛がチリチリになっちゃうから嫌なんだよね。
Fair, I guess.
縦ロールになっちゃった。
I like that.
時
Oh,
々
I like
髪
that
が変わって
look.
いたのって。
It's so cute.
役を進めるよ。
Silly Frieren.
ガーゴイルだ。
Alright, let's see how they handle this. Is it... Okay.
いろんな場所で見かけますね。
どっかの小塚が集めてるらしいよ。
Ah, she's just gonna go explore everywhere.
こっちは正規のルートっぽいから引き
Which
返す
is what Zenza didn't want. She wanted to get there kind of efficiently.
的にもう最深部は近いはずだし。現実を見つけたら一旦休憩にしようか。
Is this all the stuff that they collected? Yeah.
ガラクタにしか見えませんが。
Yeah. But also, how are you carrying it all?
わからんな。あんなもので喜べだなんて。
I mean, it would make me happy. That's what we do in video games, right? Collect.
私がわからないのは君だよ、フェルン。若さで君ほど優秀な魔法使いは見たことがない。
See.
修練を積んだはずだ。なの
She
に
definitely
君から
has.
情熱も執念も感じない。私はとある人に恩を返すために一人前の魔法使いになりました。
I know we've had this debate.
それは当時の私の人生の目標で、ただただ全力で。
Gosh, she was so young.
きっとその時に情熱も執念も使い果たしてしまったのでしょう。
Burnt out in a way.
私が初めてダンジョンに潜った時も、フリーレン様は
Pretty.
ガラクタみたいな魔道具を集めて楽しそうに笑っていました。つられて笑ってしまったんです。きっと私はそんなフリーレン様の姿が好きだ。
Again, what seeds do we unknowingly plant in others, right? By just being ourselves.
そろそろ先に進みましょう。
I think you gotta figure it out for yourself. And you know, you're letting Freerin help you with that.
きっと君たちならこの過酷なダンジョンも楽しむことができる。
Sometimes that's what makes it more fun. Maybe not brutal, but challenging. Is Ziria behind the door? I don't know. Weird. Mysterious. Creepy. Alright, let's see how they fare.
ビアベル、
なんだ、もう歩けなく。
拘束されたわ。
Oh, Ubel?
力を消した魔法使いが3人。奇襲よ。
Why? Intense.
エーレにかけられた魔法はソルガニールだ。
分かっている。
Smart. Oh. So, yeah, we didn't see who paired up in that sense.
まさかこんなものがいるだなんて。
Oh.
俺はエーレを叩く。
Okay, we will see. Very cool. It's gonna move fast. But this is gonna be interesting because won't this mean that Fern and Freerin are gonna have to face one another in a way? Ooh. It's very cool. Nice. So she's very precise and powerful.
だが、これほど完璧な他者の複製は見たことが。クモギリオもラウフェンと同等だった。
That would be interesting for Lond as well, since his thing is the clones essentially.
があるとすれば、一目見て偽物だとわかるところだな。
True.
の複製体を同時に操れるとしたら恐ろしいほどの脅威になりますね。
Well, we've seen it control 3.
手をととを組んでいて正解だったな。
Unless they can only make one move at a time.
対処できる手段も増える。
Yeah, it's weird there was only one for them, but 3 for Verbal's group. And so far the coloring has been consistent, but will it remain that way? What do we got?
電源。あれも対処できるのか。
What, Freerin? Or Zenza?
一つだけ言えるのは、これが試験でなかったらわしはとうに瓶を割ってよ。
Yep, Freerin. So, interesting, okay. It's not facing each other, like parallels. Is it gonna end? I don't want it to end. It's gonna end. Damn. Darn. That one went fast too. So this was an interesting episode. I liked it. As I've said, I really like exams. I forget what they're called, but like when there's rosters and like people move up and they battle, and then the next person goes up, and then these people battle and the next person goes up, and then those people have to fight each other. I'm blanking on what the terminology is, but if you've seen any anime, you probably know what it is. But I really like those competition things. Yeah, so all this is like very much in my realm of interest. So very, very cool. Plus it's interwoven with character work, which is always good because obviously that's why we're watching the show, is for the characters. I am happy to see that Zenza isn't malicious or anything. It seems like she has a very like tame personality, a very like docile almost personality. She's just living her life, and it just happens that the things that she's done before, the exams, were difficult. But I mean, her point is what we had talked about a little bit last time, that it's it doesn't matter so much that there's danger involved, but it's more so the actual act of figuring something challenging out that is rewarding in itself. Because a lot of the time, the things that we look back at that were challenging, that we made it through, are what show us kind of who we are, what we're made of, and we can be really proud of those things. It's not always a positive experience, and it can be kind of both, where it's like, yeah, I wish I hadn't gone through that, but also because I did, I am where I am now, and I'm a better person for it. Again, with everything in life, there's always more nuance to it, but that's ultimately what it boils down to for what the point is that I'm trying to make. It is interesting that she talked about being a pacifist, and I know that she's not the one doing the fighting, but there is fighting and danger, violence, in these trials, or in this particular trial. So yeah, I think that's interesting. But yeah, just her saying their goal is to make the impossible possible. You need to strive for that. If, like, it's called first class mage for a reason. And I think you have to do the impossible, right, to stand out and, like, be in that 1%. There's nothing wrong with not making it to that point, in my opinion. It's hard for a reason, and not everybody can do that. Like, I know there's probably, like, I don't even know if there's anything that I could be in the 1% of, but I'm okay with that. But if you are good enough and you're wanting more for yourself and you're striving for it, you need to take these tests on with that attitude of, hey, I can do this. I need to utilize all of my skills and abilities. Probably need a little bit of luck as well, but I believe in myself and I'm going to make things happen, and I got to get creative. And even though that one guy had asked, like, nobody else has made it out really, or like a lot of people don't make it out, which is a valid point and a good thing to bring up, and I'm glad that she had those golem things that seem to work, and so we'll see if it's a 100% ratio of it working or not. But I liked what she said, that we are here to gauge your abilities. Don't compare. Comparison is the thief of joy, right? Focus on you. Make it happen. Make it work for you. The only reason I think it pays to think of other people is to try and get in their head and utilize that for your creativity. I'm wondering if Kana and Lavina were a little sad that Frieren went with Fern, but I mean, they didn't seem too bummed. I am curious why they didn't go with each other, since they had that nice time in the bedroom and stuff, but I don't know. And then I didn't see Ubel and Lond walk in together, but I'm assuming they did. But I mean, as far as I know, you're allowed to attack one another. There's no benefit to it. So I guess we'll hopefully check in with them soon enough. I think that one guy, the blonde guy who was in the bathtub last time, his points were very off the mark. I think it would have made sense to work together. And I can't remember if he went in by himself. I think so. So, good luck to him. He must be a good mage, but otherwise, who knows if we're going to see him again or not. Of course, I love the message once again from Himmel of it's just good to recognize that a lot of the times we're in, we don't appreciate for what they are in the moment, and then they're gone before we even know it. And so try and make those moments and those memories last and enjoy them and savor them in the moment, because yeah, once they're gone, they're gone. And so I think it was fun that he's like, yeah, let's look through every inch of this place together and enjoy our time together. And then we see how that message carries on to Frieren and then on to Fern. My last point I'll bring up is that I really like the setting that they're in for this. It's confined, but there's lots of different rooms that can present very different challenges. And I mean, there's some that are like Indiana Jones-ish. We have more of the magical elements. We have treasures. So yeah, I think it's a really cool setting for the second phase of the exam. I really like it. And if you liked this reaction video, then giving it a like just helps it stay afloat in the sea of content out there. So please do if you would like to support me and the channel. I would really appreciate that. And if you'd like to stick around, subscribe. Feel free to take a look around and see what other things are on the channel that you might be interested in, whether movies or TV shows. And if you're interested in any full length of those movies or TV shows, they are going to be on Patreon, which is linked down below. And as always, thank you so much for sharing a little bit of your day with me. So wherever you are and whatever it is, I hope something good finds you today. So take care, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.